There's one email automation I use to consistently get 10 to 20 sales a day. In fact, this simple automation I'm about to show you is responsible for helping me get thousands of dollars in a single day. So I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to copy this automation, the psychology behind why it works, and how to use it to blow up your own business, even if you have a tiny list and without needing to be a copywriter. You see, the old way of sending emails worked like this. You send a broadcast with a link to your offer or sales page. The subscriber clicks it, they look at the page, but they don't buy. They disappear into oblivion and they forget about you and your offer. But this new way solves that problem, right? Let me explain. You use the same broadcast, the same email with the same link to the same offer or sales page, but the second the reader clicks it, boom, an automation triggers. They finish the video, they come back to their inbox, and there you are, sitting on top of the inbox with a perfectly timed offer. So if you want to learn how to use this email automation technology to hack human psychology and get more sales while deepening relationships with your customers, then you need to hear this. Email triggers leverage subscribers' behavior, interests, and timing. And those are the three critical factors to boost email engagement, right? It's a great method for making your emails feel extra personable while also getting better paydays. And who doesn't want that? It's the double whammy, right? So triggered emails deliver the right messages at the right times. They're not boring or generic, but they basically turn lukewarm readers into engaged fans and then into customers. To sum this up, email triggers maximize your marketing relevance, the timing, and the personalization to drive more action without being sleazy. Now, you might be thinking, okay, what's an email trigger? Well, I'll tell you that right now. An email trigger is an automated email. It gets sent when a certain action happens, like a click or a reply. When someone clicks on a specific link, they just receive an automation of a new email sent to them, right? Clicks the link, gets a new email. Some other examples of this happening or somebody joining your email list, they click on a specific link where you can tag them as interested, right? Like here's a puppy video. They click the puppy video and you can tag them as interested in puppy videos. When they abandon the shopping cart, when they're making a purchase or becoming inactive, you can have, they haven't been active, they haven't read emails in 3 to 6 months, send a new re-engagement campaign, right? And then you can also do cool things like milestones, birthdays, anniversaries. So think about it just like this in plain and simple terms. Subscriber takes an action, subscriber receives an email. That's it. Not too complicated, right? So here's the psychology behind why this works so well and how I use it to get massive sales. Enter the mere exposure effect. This is a psychological phenomena that states that people develop preferences simply through repeated exposure. In plain English, that just means sharing helpful free content often helps your subscribers like you, they trust you more, and they connect deeply with your brand, often without realizing it. So here's the deal. When you send a regular broadcast email and you add a link to a YouTube video, a podcast, or a valuable piece of content, anything that's really good, the person's going to click and they're going to engage with the free valuable content, right? And this is where the trigger comes into play. When the reader clicks the link and sees the great free content, they immediately get a follow-up email, and that's where you make the sales pitch. So the reader saw your content, got tons of free value where you are on video or a podcast explaining something, and usually they'll follow up to their email and see your offer. And so because you've given them a free gift or piece of content or resource, you're leveraging the reciprocity rule. Now, the likelihood of someone leaving their inbox and returning is super high. People check their inboxes like 100 times a day, something ridiculous. So this email trigger aims to create the top of mind awareness. Basically, when the reader clicks your link, they get the valuable free content, they'll go back to their inbox, and just like magic, there you are at the top of the inbox. This makes you follow up, seem super personal, and the conditions the reader to click the link in the follow-up email to buy. So I'm going to show you an example I used for my friend Jay's community building course. And the strategy I use is I sent a broadcast email. I added a link to Jay's YouTube video. The readers clicked and watched his free video explaining how to build a $500,000 a year community. Clickers then watched it, and then when they went back to their inbox, they got a follow-up email to Jay's product page, right? So let me show you this exact email I used. So the first email, I simply sent the subject line to be the same name as the YouTube title. It's super easy, right? How to build a $500,000 a year community. And one of the biggest questions I get from my subscribers is, how do I start a paid community, right? I knew it was a hot topic, a big question. Here's a great free video featuring Jay Clues talking about how he did it. So I'm just going to share this with you here. And I literally made the subject line and the YouTube title all the same for the clickable link. This just makes it very easy for your people to understand what they're doing, what they're getting, what they're learning. It's very congruent, so there's no confusion, right? It's very direct. And then I just say, you'll get something extra when you click. The highlights of the video are, and I just go through the benefits. See you soon, Parker. It's very simple. There's no sales temptation, right? There's no pressure. And so what happens is you get a huge click rate. People watch the video and they get a bunch of value. They watch it and they're like, wow, this guy's really good. I didn't know who Jay was. And the likelihood of them watching the video and returning to their inbox is super high. And once they click that link, they get this trigger email, which I'll show you here, is just with the subject line, did you watch the video I sent you? I hope so. I know you at least clicked on it. I also know it's a bit long, but it's full of value. I'm not just saying this based on my own opinion. 80% of people said the entire thing. I also will say like 50% of my email list clicked on it. Anyway, Jay has a course on how to build 5K a month community, or Jay has a course that helped me build 5K a month community in less than 2 months. So now I'm telling them how this course helped me. And then I say the value in here is straight up crazy. Here's what you get when you get Jay's beloved membership course. Events course. So what I'm doing is just price anchoring, and I literally use this from Jay's sales page, and there's a lot of value inside. Total value, very high, but you can get a lot less for that. Click here to get to see it. And this is my affiliate link, right? So do you see how this entire chain of events happened? People don't know who Jay is. I'm promoting Jay's course. Now I could write 5 emails explaining why you should listen to Jay, why Jay is so great, he's so awesome, and try to persuade people, or I could just send them to podcasts of Jay explaining how he built a $500,000 a year community, and then people get all the value, they watch it, like Jay, they're convinced they've gotten the free value, and then I send this follow-up email, which has just primed them already, they're warm, they're hot, they know what Jay is saying is valuable, they trust him, and then I have the link to the sales page here. So it's hyper effective, and let me show you exactly how to do this inside ConvertKit and get it set up. So let me show you step by step how I set up these email automation triggers that get a bunch of sales in a day and increase click rates and open rates and deepen the relationships with your customers. And first, I use Kit. It's probably the best email marketing software platform. I use it. The deliverability is great. It has a lot of awesome features, especially great automations like this one. So first, what I do is I click and I go to broadcast, where you'll be brought to this page. And as you can see, this is the email I just showed you previously. And that's what you're going to want to do first, is just draft step 1 of your email and just make it short and punchy. You can literally copy this verbatim. And next, what I'll do is just go to YouTube and make sure that I find a great, valuable video. I've watched this interview. It's a great interview, and it's a great way of showing why Jay Clews is so awesome. So I'm going to copy this link, and what I'm going to do here is I am going to go to send or automate, and I'm going to go to rules. And this is the fun one. So I'm going to click on new rules, and what happens is I want to trigger an event that happens and then an action happens, right? So someone does something and then an action happens. And so what's going to happen here is user clicks a link, right? So we want this to happen when somebody clicks on the link to watch Jay's YouTube video. So I'm going to name this, trigger, so I never forget it. Jay Community Affiliate. And then I'm going to paste this inside here. Now, what you're going to want to do is have them subscribe to a sequence, right? And you can go and do this by clicking on automations and sequences. I've already built this one. So what I'm going to have here is, let's see, community. Here we go. So I've already done this, and you can literally go into sequences, create your own sequence, and let me just show you how this works inside here. So how to build beloved membership trigger. That was it. So this is the follow-up email. I like the example I gave you, or we have the link to the sales page here, right? So I want to make sure that I just named this right. Trigger beloved membership. And so this is my follow-up email and how I built it. So next, what we're going to do is go back to the rules. And now we have those two set up, right? We have the action email, and then we have the sequence, the follow-up email. So I'm going to go to user clicks a link, and I'll just make sure I have it as the same one. Trigger beloved membership, and I'm going to paste in this URL, and then subscribes to a sequence, and we're going to want to make sure that this is the correct one. So it's beloved membership if I can ever find these in here. Let's see, build, beloved. Oh, okay. That's right. I renamed it Trigger. Beloved membership. Cool. And then we just hit save here. So what we're going to want to do is go back to our broadcast, right? And go to our drafts. If I can find it, here we go. And all you have to do is highlight this. And what you do is insert a trigger. So you go to this chain link, add a link trigger, select trigger beloved memberships, apply, and obviously get rid of this. So what's going to happen? I'm going to send this email to my list. People are going to click, and then when they watch the video for Jay, they'll come back and they will get this sweet follow-up email having a price anchor and now persuading them to buy now that they know who Jay is, his offer, his credibility, and everything like that. And of course, adding the price anchoring technique in that email to make it seem way more expensive than it really is. So to sum this up, if you get this automation right, not only will you build trust and be helpful and provide free content and persuade people to absorb the value and then likely buy, you'll increase your deliverability as well. You get a higher click rate, higher open rate, and of course get more sales fast. Your conversion rates will improve, and it also builds those relationships, which is so important. I like to call this killing a lot of birds with one stone. Anyway, now that you know the most powerful automation you can use to get more sales fast while just building trust, let me be clear, this automation is completely useless if you don't have an email list. So you could have the most perfect email automations in the world, and if you don't have an email list, it's not going to do anything for you, right? So I suggest watching this other video. It'll show you 11 list building strategies to help you build an email list of qualified leads fast.